All right. Thank you for joining me for a very quick market update. We're going to keep this super short. I want to focus on the Cypress area today. I know a lot of what I do is focused around the Katy area, but I think it's important in your home search or if you're considering selling and then considering where you're going to land next, whether it's your first home, second home, third home, 17th home, it doesn't matter, investment home, to know what options are out there. There's a lot of areas, much like the Katy area, that we get a lot of notoriety for great schools and great location and this and that. But there's great options out there if you venture out just a little bit. So my name is Jorge de Jesus. I am your Katy, Texas realtor, but in reality, I work very, very hard to get to know all the neighborhoods surrounding um, the Houston area. And in this one, I want to show you Cypress. So I just want to take the last few days and show you what's been going on. And you'll see that it's not that dissimilar from what's going on in the Katy market, although the price points are slightly lower, not by much, but slightly lower. Let's start there. So we're looking at 200, 200, the low 200s, plenty of sales in the upper 200s, so you can still purchase homes in the upper 200s, but keep in mind that these are going to be the ages of the homes, and for the most part these might be renovated. Not all of them will be, but a lot of them, much like some parts of Katy, they'll be these older homes, and then they'll have these rent grade upgrades because maybe they've been used as rentals for a little while and then the landlords are ready to exit. Or, someone's upgraded their home and they're ready to move on to the next chapter. Okay. And then on the higher end, it's a lot of newer neighborhoods. There are some older neighborhoods that have like ranches on them and things like that. But for the most part, it is a collection of newer neighborhoods, and I'll show you the top two selling right now being Bridgeland and Town Lake. And there's a few others, obviously. Bridgeland, Town Lake, Fairfield's in there. Although Fairfield is newer, they're not currently building any more sections of Fairfield, but Bridgeland has brand new construction and some homes that are a little older. See there 2011, and I'll give you a taste of what $1 million buys you in Town Lake, what $750,000 buys you in Bridgeland. So they're not going to have a ton of pictures of the homes themselves, but they want to sell you on the amenities, obviously. Let's see if we can get one that actually. Okay, here we go. Here's $1 million, and this one is in Bridgeland. Okay, perfect. So Town Lake actually tends to be a little more expensive, uh, but a lot of the same builders that are in Town Lake are in Bridgeland. Bridgeland has more uh, builders. Town Lake has way fewer. Town Lake is actually, they're not getting ready to close out, but I believe they're on their last few sections or last section. Town Lake is a great opportunity to get um, this sort of lake house type lifestyle with a lot of gated enclaves, um, and the resale values are there. And a big part of this. Here's Black Horse Ranch, which is a slightly older neighborhood by early 2000s, but again, the resale values are there. So, real quick, and this is another Bridgeland build. This is 750, similar size as the other one, but more than likely one's in a gated section, one it's not. One has closer proximity to the amenities, the other one doesn't. That kind of thing. I want to touch on the school. So there's three main schools that people gravitate towards And then there's a second tier of schools that people gravitate towards. So this is one of them. It's Bridgeland High. Then there's Cy Woods. It's Cypress Woods. And then the other one, and I won't dive too deep into the numbers. The numbers are great. Um, the other one is Cy Ranch. And then you can get all this information on the har.com website. So HAR is basically is the public facing website for what realtors in the Houston area database is essentially. So the data that we put out, you can get all the access to it. There's no gatekeeping of information here. You have all the information to make decisions with or without a real estate agent. So these are the top three. And then another one, which is a really, really great value, is Cy Fair High School. I went to one of these schools. I won't say which because I don't want to sound biased. I graduated from one of these schools. That's why I'm so passionate about, the Cypress Katy area. I know it well. But Cy Fair is another great school. But when you see is the Cy Fair schools, the neighborhoods are slightly older, much more affordable pricing, and you still get a quality Cypher ISD education. That's another thing that um, often often gets misrepresented is like if you move to a Houston suburb and it's not Katy or you're not in Katy ISD, then you can throw the education out the window. That's not true. That's a complete misnomer. So let's go back in some of the data. So let's say, okay, that sounds great. You can buy a house between 250 and 750 and get great education. But what if I want to check out the area just a little bit instead of just, marrying the area? So let's do the same thing. Let's look at rentals in the Cypress area and see. So now that you have an idea of where some of these areas are, we'll just hit the map real quick. I got to keep this short because I have lots of you, and I appreciate all the support. Lots of you have been reaching out to me based on a lot of the information that I'm putting out. Let's keep this. There's a lot of. Let's look at the last 15 days. And I really appreciate the support, and I appreciate you guys, the trusting me with your housing needs. So we're looking at some of the ranges in when it comes to rentals. So 1,300 square feet to one. Let's look at 3 bed, 2 bath. So 1,650 at minimum. It's not too bad. But this is Starwood Farms is a duplex and fourplex community, meaning you're going to be sharing a wall with someone. So let's look for actual houses. So for actual houses, looks like maybe 1,800 for a 3 bed, 2 bath. But what does 1,800 get you? It gets you Bridgeland High School. So as opposed to Katy ISD, 1,800 gets you whichever school. And if you've watched any of my Katy ISD based videos, you know that not all Katy schools are the same. We have in the Katy School District, we have more quality schools, but they're not all in the same tier. And that's a discussion for a whole nother episode. So, and on the higher end, I mean, even at 1,800, you still have access to some of the top schools, right? So I think that makes Cypress a very desirable place. So let's say if you were to land into the Bridgeland, these kind of neighborhoods that we highlighted, You're going to be starting 2750. Let's make sure I'm not lying here. Yeah, so you're 2700 thereabouts. Mira Mesa is another beautiful neighborhood. These are all great neighborhoods. But if you want to stay under 2000, you still have great opportunities to not just be in a great neighborhood. Actually, my aunt lives in Yupon Ranch, but then you're zoned to Cy Springs High School. Uh, it's still a good school. Um, it just depends. So, if you have any specific questions about specific neighborhoods or schools or anything, don't be afraid to reach out. I try to keep as much information as possible. I don't know all the answers, but if you have questions about the Houston suburbs specifically, I'm the guy to turn to because I'm telling you right now, there's so much to learn, and I love discovering something new every single day. Thank you for watching.